Australia's special envoy on anti-Semitism has called for mandatory jail time for the vandalism of synagogues as police investigate dozens of incidents across the country. Live to political correspondent Cameron Redden in Canberra now. Cam, Jillian Segal believes the penalties for crimes against the Jewish community are too soft.
She does, Kenny, and she wants the laws to change across states and territories, potentially even at a federal level. And that's why Jillian Segal is calling for a national cabinet to be convened to get state leaders, territory leaders and federal leaders all on the same page. This follows a string of incidents in Sydney, Melbourne and across the country over recent weeks and months. The AFP Special Operation Avalite, which is investigating these various incidents, is already looking into more than 100 different reports of anti-Semitic attacks or incidents across the country. That's just in the past 6 weeks since that operation was set up. And Jillian Segal making this intervention today, calling for the laws to change to give judges no room for movement when it comes to sentencing those found guilty of attacks on synagogues or vandalising places of worship. She says these can't be treated as isolated crimes. They need to be treated as systemic problems across the country.
Infecting our community with hate and attacking places of worship in particular, but other places in order to intimidate the Jewish community, they should actually result in jail time. We need to make sure as a community that we convey to those bringing prosecutions and those assessing the penalties how serious this is for the future of our country.
The Coalition has called for both of those changes, a national cabinet to be called and also for mandatory sentencing for those vandals. The Prime Minister yet to convene a national cabinet on this, but he has met in the past 24 hours with the acting Premier of New South Wales, the Premier of Victoria, as well as the head of the Australian Federal Police. There's been no additional action taken following that meeting, but the government has reiterated its support for the states and state police, that it's willing to assist in whatever way possible.
The sort of prejudice and hateful actions and criminal behaviour that we are seeing is an attack on Australia. It's an attack on Australian values and on the fabric of our society, and we ought to respond accordingly. Certainly we're doing what we are able to do at the federal level in terms of the AFP task force. We do have to respond unequivocally.
The response from the federal government and state governments with a patchwork of different laws and an uncoordinated, clear demonstration of support and clamping down on these hate crimes, that's just not happening.
Kenny, we are expecting to hear from the Prime Minister in the next couple of hours as he takes his pre-election campaign to Tasmania. We're not on the campaign trail yet, but many of these issues, including the impact of anti-Semitism, set to dominate the next few days at least.
Cam, thank you.